Ah, yes, the prequels, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. The last trilogy George Lucas took direction of in the Star Wars universe. And what a glorious 3 movies they are, too. The Battle of Naboo, Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. Huge battles, epic lightsaber clashes, and a finale that still shines today. So, why is it that every few weeks I'm reminded on Twitter and even here on YouTube that since the reboot of the canon in 2014, prequel content and content relating to the prequels has been disproportionately less prevalent than the content surrounding the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy? Shouldn't they all deserve a fair shake at the stories being told? Well, yes, but there's a good reason why they aren't. Honestly, I'm a little embarrassed about what triggered this video, but it's this: the leaked LEGO Star Wars startup screen. There seems to be some uproar, again, about Star Wars ignoring prequel characters like Padme and Anakin whilst giving attention to other characters from other eras. With all that being said, this video is not actually about LEGO Star Wars or its startup menu screen. Quite frankly, I don't actually care who's on the screen. All I care about is how much it is and when it's going to come out. No, what this video is really about is the core argument against this alleged title screen, and that's the lack of prequel characters present. There's been a constant rumbling since the canon reboot that the prequels have not gotten their fair shake at content, and honestly, it's true. To those that are saying this, you are very much in the right. Since 2014, the majority of the content created for Star Wars has been for the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy. Let me first point this out. Even though most of the content has been geared towards the sequels and the originals, the prequel content we have gotten in the new timeline has been really very good. Not only was the Clone Wars Season 7 amazing, but so was the Ahsoka book, Queen's Shadow and Queen's Peril, Thrawn Alliances, the Darth Vader comics, the Son of Dathomir series, Dark Disciple, the Age of Republic comic anthologies, and many more have all been top-tier Star Wars content. So even though numerically there hasn't been too much about the prequel era, what there has been very well done. But why hasn't there been more? Where's all the prequel shit? Well, it's coming. It will come. They can't ignore it forever. In fact, the High Republic content coming out next year will almost directly correlate to the prequels, and all of that is shaping up to be very, very good. But comparing the content we've received now to the prequel content we got in the old EU is sort of silly. Many of the prequel fans today were only kids when the prequels came out, and that includes myself. We were only exposed to the back end of the Star Wars extended universe storytelling, so we were blessed with 30 years of collective stories to enjoy. Most of the recent stories that came out during our childhood were prequel related, so of course, our brains are convinced that the prequels got better treatment in the old EU. And perhaps they did. Lucasfilm only had to deal with 2 trilogies back then to make content for. Pair that with the fact that we had thousands of stories at our disposal before 2014, of course we are going to think that things are skewed nowadays. We were looking at an aggregate of thousands of stories, and now in the rebooted canon we only have 5 years or so of stories at our disposal. It's small sample size theater out there. I think the other reason why there has been a lack of prequel content out there is that Disney is in the business of entertainment. Star Wars is one of the biggest properties, and they know if that they go too controversial that they'll end up losing a lot of money, or what they deem as an unacceptable amount, or whatever that may be. They know that starting a new trilogy and wiping away old canon would be controversial out of the gate, and they were right. Many of us forget that the prequels were almost just as controversial, if not more, when they came out. 2 actors nearly killed themselves. Another child actor was chastised for never seeing the movies before, and one was run out of acting for nearly a decade. I mean, people really hated these movies. Ask your friends who were in school at the time when these came out and saw them in theaters. They were bullied and laughed at for liking them. I've heard it time and time again. So Disney and Lucasfilm deciding to focus their efforts on producing content of their own trilogy and supplementing the originals and its characters is probably the smart decision. They would essentially be damning themselves from the start in all of their expanded universe material, which is not really a smart business decision. I think they made the right play. Stick with what everybody loves and the characters most of the fanbase adores. Sure, they could have gone backwards again with prequel content, but unfortunately the death of Carrie Fisher also showed us why it's important to cherish the characters and stories from the 70s and 80s, because we don't have much time left with those actors and creators that put their blood, sweat, and tears into starting the franchise. If anything, Star Wars did us a favor by allowing us to cherish those who brought us this content in the first place. I'm not saying that this is the right or wrong decision by Lucasfilm, but I see why they did it. For all you diehard prequel fans out there though, don't you worry, they won't be ignoring it forever. Disney spent $4 billion on the franchise, there's no way they can just go without a third of their repertoire. Alright, until next time, I'll see you guys later.